Okay, stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Trustee Skimmets will be here in a minute. All right, so we got our additions. Is that, first up, is it Alyssa?
Yes.
Alyssa Morris from Public Health. Come on up, Alyssa.
Thank you so much for having me. I just wanted to hand these out so you have them for their revision.
Pens too.
Yes.
Peter
Everyone
loves.
always needs pens.
Thank
Yes. So to introduce myself, my name is Alyssa. I work with Schuyler County Public Health. I'm a public health specialist there, and I will be the representative for this village for the year. Hopefully, future years as well. So when you open up your folder, oh, there's one there for you, Fred. No, you're okay. You'll see that we just have our standard brochure, which goes over many of the programs that we have at Public Health, if you aren't familiar already. In addition to that, you will see on the left-hand side a more detailed version of all of our programs. I currently work with immunizations, communicable disease, and on the back I work with injury prevention. So those are some of my roles there. We also have some avian influenza updates. You do have a sheet in your folder as well that goes over that if you need to refer back to it. Right now we haven't had any human cases. And the risk to the general public is currently considered low. The recent human cases of avian influenza has been linked back to an exposure to an infected animal. There's no known person-to-person spread with this virus for right now, that at least are circulating in birds in the U.S. This flu is a common illness in birds. Sometimes it can spread to people, especially if they're dealing with deceased or ill birds or poultry. And then on the back, there's some information if you do get questions about, what to do if I find a sick or dead bird and whatnot. Mostly the ag and markets and the Department of Agriculture and Markets, yes, will do the surveillance for this, as well as taking any, if there's a large flock of dead birds, they'll take care of it. So you can refer to them if you need to do that. We also, behind that, we have a list of our 2025 rabies clinics. We just had one back in February, and that was at the Shared Services Building. We've had one at the Humane Society over the weekend. But this is a list if that is something that you'd like to put on your website or share. Right now, the animals have to be at least 3 months old. You have to be able to handle your dog or cat appropriately if you're going to bring in more than one. We do offer pre-registration now, so you can register in advance, but we always welcome walk-ins. After that, you can see some rabies data from 2024. Overall, most of the pets that we've vaccinated have been dogs. We also vaccinated 165 cats and a single ferret. 3 animals. In 2024, we submitted rabies testing for 15 animals, 3 of which came back positive. All exposures were identified and offered rabies post-exposure prophylaxis, which can keep them protected if something does come up. And 70% of domestic animals were up to date on their vaccine at the time of the bite incident. In 2023, only 40 of those animals were up to date on their vaccine. So we are seeing an increase of those who are up to date on their vaccine, which is good. Behind that, our last information flyer, we have National Drug Take Back Day coming up on Saturday, April 26th at the Beaver Dams and Hector Fire Departments. We can take back unused or expired medications for free. It is anonymous. We can also take back liquids as long as they're secured properly and will not leak. Needles are not accepted at this point. Vape devices and e-cigarettes are also not accepted because of the battery part of it, but we do take back cigarettes and anything related to tobacco. And then if I do have enough time, we are also conducting a focus group. We're trying to understand kind of the health of the community, challenges that you see or face in the community to keep yourself healthy, any personal barriers to health and what you think in the community does contribute positively to health. I don't know if there was enough time. I just had 3 questions to ask and some notes to jot down. If there's not enough time, that's okay. But I just figured I'd bring it up. Okay. So, participation is optional, and then the community members may also join and add in anything if they wish. What do you feel like our community has that helps you to remain healthy? This could be recreational spaces, parks, organizations that you're a part of, anything like that.
So you're looking for examples of what our community has to,
Yeah, so what are your opinions or experiences with places, whether it's parks, organizations that you're a part of, so also churches, some people value churches as a way to remain healthy. Some people view like social settings, so like we have the roller skating every Friday. So
Paddleball is getting a lot of exercise too.
yeah, that's pickleball, spirit
Pickleball,
pop.
sorry.
Okay.
I said it wrong.
Is this just countywide, right?
Yes, countywide.
Yeah, so just an opinion, I think we have multiple services offered, whether it's through the municipal level or a school level.
Mhm.
The schools, for example, open up the gyms, the pools, the weight rooms, the indoor track
To the public.
to the public.
That is really good.
The indoor track, or the indoor track is open a certain time. The weight room, I think you gotta have a fee for that, or you
No,
might not.
no, right
If you're a
now it's
taxpayer,
free.
I don't think
Yeah.
you have to pay for that.
Yeah, I think it's free for everyone.
Yeah. But it's accessible.
Yes,
Yeah,
and that's what we'd like.
Especially at full.
You've got the gorge, I mean, you can walk through that for free if you want a good cardio workout, walk all the way to the top of
The
that.
marsh
Start
is a
Ethan
wonder,
does it every day.
the marsh is a wonderful
Marsh.
place to feel, find peace. Especially with like birds.
Who does it every day?
Ethan.
Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about the schools that I found is that a lot of people don't know about it.
Yes, I was gonna say, I live in Ithaca, but I work here, and so I didn't know that about the schools.
Yeah.
So if I ever have someone ask me about that, I can go ahead and refer them to that, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, the other
Just
thing,
Get on the website, get on the Watkins Glen Central School website, get in the athletics
Like one,
subcategory and
Mhm.
it's
one of our board members swims in early in the morning, so it's open, what is it, 4 days
6
a
to
week?
7.
Or 5
No,
days?
every day, yeah, except for when school's not in session.
Okay,
So
that's
it's
really
very angry over that. But there's also open swim at night, I think 2 or 3 days a week.
Well, they cut it down a little bit. Last I knew, the community swim was just Friday night.
Okay,
Might be Tuesday.
might be
But they have to
attendance
share
wise,
with-
but they at least offer something at night for community swim.
And on
Right.
Tuesday nights, they also have water aerobics, but that is something you have to sign up with through BOCES.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
think
think she does it. Mary Ellen does it. Mary Ellen's one that does
what
it.
the village offers is great, it's fantastic, what past board members and the mayor have offered, it's like, there's the kayak launch where you can take your own kayak, or in the
Yeah.
summer, we have a lease agreement with somebody that offers kayaking.
Oh,
You
okay.
gotta pay for it, but
Yeah, renting them.
at least you can have that access there, you've got the parks.
Mm-hmm.
we have a walkable downtown, and we have a wonderful Catherine Valley Trail that you can walk, bike, take your dog, watch out for the deer. I had a deer run right in front of me on my bike.
Okay, well, that's some good feedback. I appreciate that. So, on the opposite spectrum, what are some of the biggest health challenges you think you or your community members face here?
Things for the elderly, programs for the elderly. I think Jefferson Village does a great job with, and so does Seneca View, honestly, but it's kind of the in-between of, where do people go, the people that might live at the middle school apartments,
Right.
what kinds of things are they offering, is there transportation?
Right.
Maybe we need like a community bingo or something like that. I mean, down in our park, we're constantly looking at different ways to bring people in, and of all ages.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a real asset, but I do worry about our elderly because I think it can be very isolating for them.
Yeah, I did another focus group at the Silver Spoon Cafe, and a lot of their feelings were also towards the fact that there's not very many things for the elderly to do. Although they did point out quite a few things, like bowling and pickleball, they said
There's
that
a
like,
concert series. in the
Yep,
summer.
on Tuesdays,
Concert series.
we're doing a farmer's market this year.
all right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, that would be,
Any other thoughts?
Do we have any, like, any kind of recreation programs for kids as well?
Yeah, that's a good
Summer rec.
point. So we have a summer rec program that runs first week of July till the third week in August. It's about 125 a week, I believe. And we've been at full capacity. We brought that back now 3 years,
I think it's 3 years.
This is the third year.
Third year. Yeah, and so it's for children for the whole county.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supported, we definitely get donations, but the boards from other municipalities donate to help with the program. It's
Oh,
not
that's nice.
inexpensive because the Department of Health oversees it, and so
Mhm.
you have to have, we're mandated to have certain staff, including a nurse.
Right.
And so many lifeguards, and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Great. Well,
Family entertainment, more family entertainment.
More family entertainment, yeah. So we're talking about bringing back the movie nights at the park, which was a lot of fun.
mhm.
We had that at Coop Park, probably 4 or 5 years ago now.
Sarah called out.
Yeah, it was great, very well attended. People brought their picnic baskets and
Mhm.
hung out, and mosquitoes kind of got you, but
Yeah, that does suck towards the end of the
Yeah.
night when it's actually,
it was fun. And I know we still have the screen app. We're talking about bringing that back.
okay. Oh, these are good things for me to know too. I appreciate that. Thank you. And then lastly, what neighborhoods or communities within Schuyler County is it easier or harder to be healthy in, and why? And this could mean, transportation, how far does it go and what communities does it go in, walkability, stuff like that.
I
it's
think
easier in the village.
All of those
Right.
things are restrictions or can be restrictions, especially if you have, someone who's not as mobile, and,
Mhm.
that's another thing. If you've got someone who has mobility issues, getting around the village is somewhat easy, but also can be dangerous going across Franklin Street. But
Yeah.
other communities like Odessa, for example, you're on more of a highway, so it's
Mhm.
more difficult for people.
Yeah.
Did they get about kind of the pink park, isn't that art?
The bus,
The bus, yeah.
yeah, and they're
See
talking
all the
about
time.
expanding that too.
Yeah, that's it, goes to Odessa,
Mm-hmm.
Tyrone,
Takes them to the grocery stores and.
Right.
bring them to this location.
Yeah. Well, any other thoughts or things you'd like to share related to these questions?
We always appreciate your support, and certainly I reach out if I have a question.
Mhm.
I would say that we're in a much better place than 2020,
Yes.
so it feels almost a little simplistic.
Isn't it nice though? A little bit.
The one question I had for Scott, and I think you all know this, around the bird flu, and, because you've had to pick up some birds, right?
Yeah, seagull,
Yeah, so you're educated on how to
yeah, it's put in the bag,
use gloves,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And then I will say an update on measles, because I know it's been a big topic too. We haven't seen any cases in Schuyler, which is good. I even think even in New York State, and if there were, they've done their quarantine and isolation period, especially because we'll see a lot of people traveling. So
Yeah.
that's something to be concerned about too. So with the measles vaccine, 2 doses means you are fully vaccinated. It depends. Some people, it differs. So definitely talk to your healthcare provider about that. There is talk, which I don't know how common knowledge it is, but if you were born between 1957, you were likely exposed to measles, so you're considered immune. And again, this is what you have to confirm with your provider. But if you were born between 1957 and 71, the vaccine that you got at that time might not be as effective anymore. So if that's the case, or anybody that's the case, have them reach out to their provider and see if they need to get a second dose, or getting a titer or blood test to make sure that they're still immune to measles. So, and if you ever have any people ask questions about that, you can direct them to us. My business card is in your folders if you have any questions in the meantime. But other than that, that's all I have for you. Did you have any other questions?
I would just say one final thing,
Mhm.
and I'm hearing it a lot, not as much in the village because we have our own electric, but
Mhm.
I do get concerned for the county perspective, and I know Office of the Aging probably is
Mhm.
working with some of the elderly communities about how they're heating their homes, keeping warm,
Mhm.
because they're worried about paying their bills. And so I know there's programs out there,
Mhm.
but I think as a county, we really need to pay attention to that.
Yeah, that's a good point. We all, the Department of Social Services usually works with those type of situations to
Mhm.
do, you know, if it comes down to being able to pay their electricity bill to keep their heat and energy on.
Right.
So, yeah, I will go ahead and note that, about
Great.
them, and then I'll bring it up and see if we have any other thoughts or additions to
Appreciate your
To
time,
fix-
Alyssa.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys,
Thank you.
Thank
yeah,
you.
enjoy your day.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna open the public hearing for the 2025-26 village budgets. I need a motion, please.
Make a motion. Excuse me, to approve the 25-26 budget.
No, it's
We're
just.
opening the
You're
public
just
hearing
opening
for
the
it.
public hearing.
Oh, I'll just make a motion to open the public hearing
That's correct.
for that.
Yep.
I'll second it.
All right. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed, it's carried, so we'll leave the public hearing open until we get past our list of voting items. Thank you. All right, public be heard, since I have all managers here. We're gonna move right on. I need a motion to approve the minutes of April 1, 2025, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular board meeting held on April 1st, 2025.
Second.
Further discussion?
One thing I'll comment, I didn't put in the appointment for Ken,
Oh, Eric Kenny.
it's corrected in the minutes, it's just not in your copy, but it is in the copy that
I
will
don't
be
even
out
see
there,
the
so.
minutes in
I
there.
caught that at the last minute,
Good
but I
catch,
wasn't.
because I didn't catch it.
I caught it because he came in today,
Oh,
and I started talking to him, and then it kind of occurred to me.
I've never met him. All right, all in
He came in to
favor?
do his
Wait a
oath
minute,
for the new
Hang on a
year.
second. I'm sorry.
Other than that, everything is fine.
I don't see the minutes. I'm sorry.
I know, I was waiting for Margaret.
Aye.
She said, wait a minute.
They're down past the budget and
We're
everything
after
else.
the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, I'm good, I'm good.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried, thank you. All right,
Oh,
the
that's
parts,
okay.
Stacy couldn't be here, she had a family issue. We've got some stuff to talk about with parks in a little bit. Scotty, you've got a lot going on, thanks for your help today. I know. Appreciate all you're doing. All right, Dennis, I think today was kind of topped it all, didn't it?
Yeah, it is a little exciting, a little busy. We got some paperwork back from the waterside project,
Oh, yeah,
that has to come up as a plan board again.
yep, a seeker.
You gotta do the seeker, and it expanded the project a little bit, at least the scope.
Right.
She's concerned with one seawall put in with all of that. We did boarding of the house today, and just following up on permits that have been put out and already, and we got one new house starting to build
Okay,
on Cedar Street.
yep. I was up there the other day. One thing I'll need from you, because I know we're not gonna see each other for the next couple of days, can you give me a copy of the letter that you sent to Mr. Wojak? Because we also need to send a letter certified, which we can do while you're gone, on that property from today. You can just email me a copy of it. Maybe, do you have it?
I'm sure I do.
Okay. Because we need to send him a certified letter. even though he's been notified, we still gotta do it.
I sent him certified letters.
Right, but of the actions today, I thought that we had,
Oh, you missed her answer.
yeah. Okay. Meg, what's going on in water besides alarms at 11 o'clock at night?
So that generator ran from like 7:50 until about midnight.
So that's all locked up now, right?
Yeah, we've got a lot on.
So my question is, when we redid all this for phase one, nobody knew that that disconnect was outside of the
It
building.
wasn't there. That was something Terry had added on.
Oh, was added on after?
That
Oh.
was done when they were working down at the raw, doing the windows and painting, and that was just put down there not too long ago.
It's kinda odd to put a disconnect on the outside the building, isn't it?
That's what we thought.
Yeah,
With no lock on
Is
it.
that,
Actually, the disconnects on the outside of the building is actually becoming a big thing from codes as well. Because if there's something that happens inside the building, if there's a fire,
And you can't get in?
you can't get into the building to shut the electric off on the inside, so they want to disconnect the power on the outside.
Yeah, so what happened is,
Well, structure works.
I got a call, was that Saturday night?
It was, yeah, Saturday night,
Yeah,
the guys that lives up top.
yeah, so
He called
the,
the plan a couple times too, but.
so we think that there was some kids messing around, but there's a lock on it now, so,
so
We did
that's,
recreate it today and did confirm that that was obviously how it went.
what does this do?
The intake building down there?
well, in the
Yeah,
gen,
they're all the cutoff, because they're
So if you
knockoffs.
come around the building there next to the generator,
So, oh, it's to the generator though, right?
it's to the whole building. So
To
when
the
they
building,
put
the
that
generator kicked
disconnect,
on.
it shut everything down inside and then told for that generator to run. And then it set off a bunch of alarms because we lost power.
so now my question again is, so now we got it locked, who's got keys to the lock?
I don't think you can lock that.
We drilled a hole right underneath, so you can't pull that handle down, and then we put a lock on.
You might wanna check, I don't know if you would,
Whether it can be locked down or not?
yeah,
I did ask Tommy if there's some way to lock that the right way, but as far as right now, we've got a padlock.
well, the other way you could do it is we could have the fire department put one of their boxes down there with a key in it in case
Yeah.
somebody, just like we have at the wastewater plant. And then,
well, do you have another knockoff inside? That if there's a safety concern, you're
There's not
supposed to be
yet.
able to shut that off. So if it's locked,
I mean, there's a.
or I'm
bunch of
sorry,
different-
turn it on. So this is just to
There's
turn
not a
it on.
disconnect like that. I mean.
Okay.
anything else, Mike? All right, thank you.
I got just one thing.
Yep.
So the forward flows, you're shutting that down and draining the new system because we can't use it? What does that mean?
So right now, all four of those tanks that sit in that pre-treatment building are full of water, and we can't backwash it, so it's just sitting there with stagnant water. You can't flow anymore because it's just increasing turbidity inside our building. So Amanda's theory was we're just gonna drain it and shut it down.
So when you drain, so what's the process for draining it? What's that going to?
We had them put a drain on the bottom of those tanks, and I can just hit.
So it just goes down and
valves
then-
and it'll open up.
Are these being decommissioned or is there a broken part somewhere?
No, they're being decommissioned.
Oh,
We
okay.
can't use
All right.
them.
This is the pretreatment building, the brand new pretreatment building. And it's gonna be decommissioned.
And we're still having a problem with the valves from Zurich?
Yeah, they're all faulty.
The three of them are bad, and then our actuators are no good, so
They're-
that whole,
They're replacing them all.
The Zurich's gonna replace them all, but
Well, we're hoping, right?
Right.
We're hoping they're gonna do it, we don't know for
Better.
sure.
but McCrossin did some modifying.
It's a manufacturing issue,
Oh,
well,
I don't know, we
no,
think.
I don't think it was a manufacturing.
No?
Because I think they just measured wrong, ordered them how they need, thought they needed them, found they were
Oh,
So
Yes.
in the crossing,
that first
had some
report,
shafts modified on there.
So that's a potential issue, Megan, because now it foregoes the warranty on those valves, right?
I would think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
because they extend them. Oh, my God. Christmas pie.
one thing I think we should talk about, it's not really specific to water, but it can be, is I'm seeing these shut-offs, and specific to that 12th Street house. I don't think we should be shutting off the power, water, et cetera, unless
So,
Dennis is.
talking Frank,
Mhm.
he severed his surface. It's severed at the sidewalk.
He said what?
It's severed. He dug it up and cut it. It's terminated. That water's been off to that house for a long time.
Which one are we talking about here?
The terminal there, right behind the shaft.
There's a
On Monroe Street?
duplex rental,
The Monroe Street one, is this the bullet you're talking
no,
about?
12th Street.
Oh, 12th Street, okay, the one above it, okay.
Yeah, I just, it's a viable house for long-term rentals, and it hasn't gone through any process with Dennis. And so, when I saw that they cut the electric off, I'm like,
Yeah, he severed it. They said you can't, if you end up doing something with that building, you can't just cut it into the basement. Because if you do any digging, you're gonna tear that line right out of the main, now we have a bigger issue. So I had to have him cut it back by the curb box. So the curb box is there still, and they can tap back all of that.
Is he looking to demo the building or something?
yeah, you can't. It's a 2-unit, long-term rental, and the
It's
house,
not in bad shape at all. We walked.
no, it's not. You haven't heard any more on that, right, Dennis?
No, he sent in a permit to demo the building, and I called him up and talked to him about it, and he said, I told him that he has to go, have a site plan, the site plan review through the planning board, before it can be torn down, you have to have a plan to put something back, before that can happen.
Yeah, he told me he was gonna put something back there. He didn't like how close that one was to the road. It would just be a couple years.
According to the zoning law, he has to have a plan in place.
Yeah. It's not a condemned building, it's a viable 2-unit long-term rental that we need.
Yeah, because we asked him who was tearing it down. He's like, I'll probably do it myself.
Oh,
Okay. It's been one of those days. I think it's a full moon.
The other day it was.
All right, Ethan, thank you so much for your help today.
Yeah, no problem.
Who was
Just some things to add to what Megan said. We have some individuals who will be responsible for that, as well as there was burglary right there
Mm-hmm.
in that same location, that same time frame as well, which we recovered some stolen property. And they're doing some evidence tech work on that stolen property to try to officially tie the suspects to the burglary that took place in one of the homes there, where they stole some merchandise. And then during our 4-day detail, the last, I think it was Thursday to Saturday, I believe, for distracted driving, we wrote 36 tickets and gave 23 warnings, kind of over the weekend, if you will, on distracted driving, and then otherwise everything's kind of normal, busy, status quo.
Getting busier.
Augusto, his last name goes with him. He loves to be out there giving tickets. I see him all over the place.
that's,
Well, you got a good staff. I know today wasn't easy. Hopefully it's quiet for a little bit. Thanks, Ethan. All right, we got fire. Okay, I'll take a motion to accept all department reports.
I make a motion to accept all department reports.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed, thank you, it's carried. All right, so we're bringing back an item from last meet, excuse me, the East Coast Watercross. I need a motion, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the East Coast Watercross application for the use of Fleet Park on August 22nd through the 24th for jet ski races.
Second.
Discussion.
We tabled it because we didn't know the fees.
Yes,
again,
Stacy
right?
wasn't here, and so she confirmed with us that they pay the park rental, they pay camping, let's see,
Oh, that's right, it was in the email.
yep.
What was the park?
Well, we only charge $150 for the whole park, which,
So
use
like
of
cover
the,
garbage.
yeah,
Yeah. that's it.
probably
I didn't
not
see
even,
it.
but, yeah. So this is consistent with what they've done in the past, and it'll be a little bit different this year because of the playground, but Stacy's got a good handle on it, so I think, at least from my perspective, she answered the questions.
So we're going with the same fees as last year?
Yeah, we can't, because we've already passed those fees. We
Okay.
need to look at that going forward. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried, thank you. Second is Greenleaf's award of the dumpster day, May 10th, 2025.
Make a motion to approve the roll-off services for the May 10th dumpster day with Greenleaf Disposal and Recycling.
Second.
Discussion.
I can't wait.
No, not as much
May
as
10th,
that.
8 o'clock.
He
Not as
gets
much as
excited.
me.
All in
It's my
favor?
favorite day of the year.
Aye.
I already got my truck rented for it.
Oh, gee.
No opposed, that's carried, thank you. All right, I'm moving right along, because as you can see, we have a list. We realized that Macy Fitzgerald didn't get her increase, so we need to up her to 17 based on our seasonal schedule.
Make a motion to increase Macy Fitzgerald labor for roller skating to $17 an hour effective April 7th, 2025. It's her fourth season working.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, that's also carried, thank you. Okay, this resolution, so this is a follow-up from the last meeting on the awarding of the bond council, so this is just the resolution that has to go along with it that we didn't have last time, so I need a motion
Make a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing the issuance of bonds in a principal amount not to exceed $2,427,000 to finance the construction of improvements to the village sewer system.
Second.
discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed, it's also carried. Next, we have our 25-26 elected and appointed members of the Watkins Glen Fire Department. I'd love a motion, thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve and support the 25-26 elected and appointed members of the Watkins Glen Fire Department. Fire Chief Jason Hudson, First Assistant Charlie Scaptura, Second Assistant Aaron Emery, Deputy Chief Anthony Needs, Deputy Chief Rob Eudonomic, Deputy Chief Nick Delrimple, Captain John Horrocks, Lieutenant Brent Houselander, Safety Captain Brian Hudson, and EMS Captain Ashley Emery.
I'll second it.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's carried, no opposed. Thank you to Stephen and Peter for going to the banquet.
It was good.
It was very nice.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Quick.
It was nice it was local too.
Okay, seasonal hires, thanks Dennis. We're gonna group these, D through K. So we'll do one motion with all of them.
Make a motion to hire or rehire the seasonal employees, items D through L, or D through K.
I second.
Discussion.
So, what is minimum wage now?
15.50.
15.50?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 No opposed, that's also carried, thank you. All right, now we're on to this resolution, and I apologize for the last minute drop on you all, but this happened today. Some of you have been filled in, but I need a motion and then I'll give you as much detail as you'd like.
I'll make a motion, for the resolution for 900 North Porter Street. Maybe I should, wait a minute, let's reword that. I make a motion for the resolution affirming code enforcement officer report and ordering repair or removal of unsafe structure at 900 North Porter.
Yep, that sounds good.
Perfect.
Is that second?
Second.
Okay. So, this home, on the corner of Ninth and Porter has been deemed unsafe and unfit for any individual to even step foot in. They boarded up the property today with the assistance of Scott and his team and Sergeant Mosier. The owner of the property left the community, is in Massachusetts, so he has been notified that he was to remedy the facility and has not. So in accordance with our local law as well as the New York State fire and code enforcement laws, we deemed it condemned. And I can tell you that I was there, and I didn't go in, but I appreciate the two sitting in the audience because it's disgusting. And it was harboring squatters. There was drug use. The neighbors, many of which came out, thanked our staff. I think it was a right thing to do for the community, and if you think you're gonna leave a house like that, you better hang on, because
That used to be a nice place at one time.
that could be a beautiful home, but it's pretty sad. But that's what we did, that's what the resolution states. We will be following up with the owner. He has time to come back on May 1st to a hearing if he wants. We'll see where it goes. He does have it up for sale, so
Yeah, but
if
he
someone
doesn't
wants
have,
to buy it and refurbish it, it'd be great.
he doesn't have it listed with an agent though.
No, it's on the,
Just got it in the window.
Everything around is fine.
yeah. So that's what a good chunk of the day was. And I can't thank our team enough, because it was all hands on deck.
Good job.
Yeah, great job.
Yeah, it was.
Peter
A lot of action going on.
Yeah.
Just sold hot dogs or something.
A lot of people from the middle school apartments were out there.
I drove by there earlier because I had a dentist appointment. I wish my dentist appointment would have been later so I could have stopped by and seen the action.
Oh, I did a U-turn, go back and see what was going on.
Yeah, I was gonna call you and I forgot. All right, all in
Next time,
favor?
let us know.
I've got something. So we had teams over there, great job, boarding up, and then the police department, they did a great job as well. Part of, maybe this won't be part of it because we don't have it prepared yet, but at the next board meeting, are we gonna be invoicing the property owner?
Oh, yes, so that's part of it. We're not done yet.
So good.
Yeah, it's all going, it'll go on as faxes. Tomorrow, the
With-
team has to get the garbage out, because there's, I can't even tell you. Outside the house, not inside the house. We're not going inside.
Did that,
What's that?
not funny, but did that, mess on the sidewalk get taken care of today, or is that gonna be part of it?
No, but they could scrape it up with a backhoe, I guess.
Oh, what kind of mess?
Oh, it's a mess. I
Or
have,
flathead shovel, you know what I'm talking about there on the north side?
yeah, it's bad.
What is
Some of
it? Well, what is it?
It's feces, yeah.
Like a very large pile of
Oh.
feces.
So they'll have,
Like purposely done?
Stephen, we'll have all material, all labor.
Well, let me know, because I can help with that. So,
Oh.
especially with equipment costs and,
Yeah, we have a schedule.
It's that
yeah,
bad?
you and I looked at before,
I know we need to up it, but.
It's that bad, the pile of stuff?
Always.
Oh.
but just allocating all of your time and everything that you did from point A to B.
Yep.
Let me know how you go.
All right, all in favor?
All right?
All right.
Aye.
No opposed?
All right.
Thank you. Okay, I need a motion to close the public hearing for the budget, please.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing for the 25-26, right?
Yep.
Budget hearing
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed, carried. General audit dated 4/11/2025.
I make a motion to approve the general audit dated April 11th, 2025 for the total amount of $210,562.36.
I'll second it.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Did you say aye, Peter?
I did.
Okay, no opposed, that's scary, thanks a lot. Okay, I need to have a discussion with the board on this next item, and I think you saw some of it. It may end up as a voting item, we may have to circle back, but I wanted to have a discussion about where this is at, because,
Stacy sent an email.
he's waiting for an answer. So there's two requests from Sunshine Boat Rentals. The first request is he wanted to put his own dock next to our docks on the canal. So I've outlined to him, there's multiple reasons why we're not prepared to do that. One being that that's leased by the Canal Corp, and I'm working with the Canal Corp on some other things. So that's one item, and we probably should vote on that. Because we don't, I guess, or just, we just don't have the space. We can't just say you can put your own, we can't have an individual put a, from my
No,
perspective,
Right, because one person did it, everybody did it, yeah.
private dock on our leased property.
I don't think you can.
Well, it would then beg the question of, why can't somebody else bring a dock in? And now,
Well, that's what I mean, that's why you can't do it.
And we have 80 people ahead of them.
right, and we have a
Yeah.
waiting list.
Yeah.
He did write the grant, to bring in another boat, which I'm assuming some of you guys saw this from last time, but, which is great, because it's a inclusive boat, but he had to have a special dock for that boat. It's kinda gray from, it's,
So that's the dock that he wants to build for the ADA boat.
right.
Right.
He bought a dock,
Right.
apparently.
This is a
Well,
dock is conducive to this ADA compliant boat, where somebody in a wheelchair can go on the dock and
Yeah.
access the boat.
He would retrofit it so that there's no step. Because ours all have, do they, yeah, there's a little ramp, yeah. So that's the first part of this. The second part is that, if you recall last year, and it was kinda last minute, he didn't have a place for, he was gonna sell all of his pontoon boats, and then he didn't, so he had two boats. So we leased that center of the parking lot for two of his boats for the summer for $1,000 a month, right, Fred?
With the agreement that he would pull the boats out.
It was
after each
1,000.
fund.
Yeah.
Yeah, which always didn't happen, but.
Right. So he wants to extend that contract. So just for comparison's sake, the kayak launch owner, the rent leasee, pays $2,000 a month to utilize that space. So the board needs to decide do we allow it again this year, which I don't think there was any problems except for sometimes the boat's kinda hung out while people were trying to get in and out, but that happens anyways.
Yeah.
And two, what's the price per month to do it? Because we, last minute helped him out last year. I did check with where he had the boats, and they were charging around $2,000, 2,200 for the docks. And he had like 5 or 6 boats, but that's kind of
We have a
irrelevant.
fee schedule though for the docks.
But this is dry dock, basically.
Right, but do we have a fee schedule for anybody that parks their boats in, out of the water in the lot?
Yes, the campers have a fee to park, they have numbered spots around, where the
Right,
kayaks
and
are.
then, would we charge those?
Well, this is a little different, I feel, because
This is a
this
business.
This is a business, oh,
This is a
absolutely, I was just trying to make
Yeah,
that.
I can't remember what that is. I'd
I
have to
could look it up, it's in the
Yeah, I know, I
Cooper
should
grades
remember too,
sheet that
because
we.
we don't fee schedule. but
It's
yeah.
not that, I can't remember.
So I
So
want to,
it's not the same as what we charge him, because he's a business.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to get to, like,
right.
we should be charging him more, because it is a business.
so he can
But
possibly
I just
make,
wanna make sure we are charging him more.
if
because
both of his boats are running,
It's
he
like
can,
$700 an hour, for a day.
he can possibly make $1,700 a day, or $1,800 a day. If both boats are running.
I don't,
An hour before.
Pardon?
Now-
I don't care what he
Before,
makes,
right?
and I don't care to
He
do the
wants to put
math
two
on
extra
what he's
boats
gonna
in.
No,
make.
just-
he
I
wants
just think
to-
we should be coterminous to what is going on at the kayak park.
Well, my suggestion was
good point.
$3,000 a month per boat.
Last
Not
year we
including,
charged-
now this is not including the ADA thing, I
Yeah.
think that's a whole different,
That's all there.
that's a whole, yeah. But his boats and his business, I think $3,000 a month per boat is where I stand, then you guys can do whatever you want, but that's $6,000 a month.
Right.
He can do that in a week.
Margaret?
Um,
Steven?
yeah, I'm thinking, about it.
I don't know how full he is or how busy he
Yeah, I
is.
respect that.
You know, and that doesn't include, and he says that doesn't include taxes and additional fees. Now, I don't know, he said, so I read something in there where like he can supply fishing poles. I don't know, like if he supplies food or drink or anything like that, but he said that doesn't include additional fees, so that's what my calculations came out to.
Stacy?
So we're separating him from the campers, because he's a business and they're campers.
Yeah, we haven't ever in the past allowed businesses to use that
Yeah.
space. And it may be going forward that we just don't have enough space. We have a hard enough time because we've got so many people parking in there. It's crazy on a weekend, but I talked to Stacy. Stacy felt that we should charge him the same as we charge the kayaks at $2,000 a month, with a maximum of 2 boats, and we can't expand it. Because that's the thing, you brought that up just a minute ago. You know, you don't wanna say 2,000 or whatever it is a
And then
month, and then he brings
yeah.
in 4 boats. 'Cause-
Pete, I like where you're going, but I think to preserve us staying out of what we feel as though somebody's gonna make, because you could sit there and do the math on the kayak launch, he makes a killing over it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Or it could rain
So-
all summer.
So,
Yeah.
just out of preservation of us conducting what we have to do and get the fair share for the residents and taxpayers, I'm more of the opinion that this year we charge them the same as what the kayak launch is. I like where you're going, but
Yeah.
that's just my opinion, just that way we're not sitting there saying, well, we believe you make this much.
Well, I think also too, you know, like the
I
kayak
think
guy.
you have to look at it that way.
But I think also too, like the kayak guy might say, hey, gee, they could raise the price on me at any moment, and then everybody pulls out, and then you have nothing.
They're
I
not
mean,
gonna do
you know, but
I'm not saying we
chances
wouldn't.
are that wouldn't happen, but,
We already passed one, it's done. I think for this year, I think it's
And then
definitely
look at it
something
next
we
year.
look into for both sites. That's just my
Yeah,
opinion.
because technically, we
And if
should
he
put
wants
out an
to bring-
RFP
Right.
for,
yeah.
if we're gonna offer that kind of thing in our
Even with
facility.
the kayak, yeah. And if he wants to bring a third boat, if the superintendent of parks can agree with the liaisons and the mayor saying, hey, look, we can fit a third boat, this other one he's got coming, perhaps we charge another $1,000.
So you wanna charge a flat $2,000, not
Month.
$2,000 per boat?
No, per month, flat,
Up to 2 boats.
up to 2 boats.
Yeah, don't make it more than that. But then I think also too, we should think about possibly putting in place an RFP process for next year. Then that way, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're making it fair, we're putting it out there,
Yeah, because I did have another kayak company come to me and ask me, you know, if they could bid on it, and we haven't, because Paul's always done it.
Right.
He's been the
And
sole
he's-
source
yeah.
for,
Yeah.
you know, he does a good job, he
You
keeps it
came up with
clean.
a figure of like 1,800 per boat per day, or not per day?
No,
So
that's,
No, oh, what he
It's,
makes,
um,
yeah.
I looked it up.
if both boats are going full, and then I got looking into different ways that you can finagle this,
both
it's like about $1,700, $1,800.
For the two boats though, okay.
Slip at the marina, $800 a month, 10,000.
At the Village Marina?
That goes by footage. doesn't it?
No, it's, yeah, it depends on the length of your boat, but I pay for my boat $2,250 for the season, not like a month.
Yeah.
And I get electric and water.
But you're not a business either.
Right, but
No,
still,
right.
the magnification is that, because that's for 6 months, right, or 5, whatever you wanna call it.
I love it if it was 6. Depends on the weather when I put it in,
It's
but,
usually 5 months for the kayak.
yeah.
5 months.
And this guy's, this guy, what would his term be?
Who,
The guy with the
Sunshine?
boat, Sunshine, what would his?
Well, when we open up, when do we open up to put the, pretty soon?
It's April something.
April 18th.
Yeah, but,
Because it's private, and she gets.
And it closes like October or
Right.
something,
She
Scott?
pays $440 a month, not 5 months.
right.
We're charging another $560 per boat.
And I get it, it's cheap. So he was paying about $2,200 down at Frog Hollow per boat, per season. So not a month, it was per boat, per dock, for the
So he's paying
season.
44 for the season.
Well, he had like 6 boats at that point.
Right.
And
And
then-
he's paying like not even $200 a month for each boat.
Yeah.
And you extrapolate the math out on 6 boats.
What do you do to his other 4 boats?
What's that?
Or, I wonder what he did with his other 4 boats.
He sold them. I think he was gonna get out of the business and then,
Something happened.
Yeah, something.
He got
Well, I think when he came to the meeting, he said that he didn't think he was gonna have the people to work it or something.
Oh, that's
and
what it
then-
was, a
And then at
camping
the
business.
last minute, he did have them or something, I don't know.
so if you pull up his website, he has our address on it.
That's where I got my figures from.
Oh, you went on there? So, I mean, the other thing we could do is,
That's right, see?
Oh, do you have an office now? Oh, the office in your house, yeah.
Easy.
Oh, okay.
The
Oops.
office.
yeah, what do you want,
All it needs is a refrigerator.
what do you wanna do? Board? Peter's over, I know where Stephen is. Where are you, Marg?
I agree with Stephen, I think that we just, for this.
Keep it consistent with the kayak?
Until we just kinda, yeah,
But I think we absolutely look at what.
for next year.
Peter's
I say
going
we
for
definitely
both.
look at it for next year for both of them,
Where
yeah.
Peter's going, I think we look at both
Yeah,
of them.
I don't disagree with what you say, I
Right.
just, you know,
I think it's something we have to do, it's, we're sort of.
at this point in the season,
We got one that's paying,
yeah. Cause I think the message needs to be consistent.
Well, so the history with the kayak too is we had it one rate or a percentage of the sales. Well,
You don't know what the, yeah,
It's like that easy.
yeah,
Is he operating every day?
I see.
Whenever he gets
Oh,
it
Maybe
running.
it's not
Are you talking about sunshine or
or
kayak?
wind.
could be, yeah.
So he can make up to like 50 grand a month, literally?
Yeah.
You're talking about sunshine or you're talking
Yeah,
about kayak? Oh.
that's why I'm just saying, based on what the numbers that you said, if he ran every day, in full, that's
That's
50
what this
grand
should
a
be, so
month.
if that's what he could possibly top out at.
Even, and so if you did a percentage of that, 5% or whatever.
Well, and then I thought about that too, but then you don't,
But I'm just saying, is
But
that
then you're at the
even?
will of.
That's why we changed it with the kayak launch, because it was,
You knew.
it
No,
was getting the
I
same thing
didn't-
every,
Right.
same spreadsheet every,
I didn't mean it that way, I just meant if you took the max 51 and then you did 5%, that's 2,500. I mean, that's just, I'm just saying,
for
Well,
both boats or one
I
boat?
see what you're saying, for both, that's what I'm saying, is that you're,
So you're still close, I mean,
same, it's just, it's a piece of information, right? The kayak versus this, it's just two businesses.
And actually, when you think about it now, that I think about it, there's days when, like, the kayaks might not be able to go out, but that boat could.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, his business is solely dependent on, you know, whether he gets the people there to rent it,
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah,
And, you know, enough people to, you know, party of five, one boat can handle, 10 kids, or 10 adults and 4 kids, or 12 adults, and the smaller boat can handle 8 adults, so, you know.
and how much does he charge to go out?
Well, you could make it 2,000 per boat, because what if we say 2,000 for 2 boats, and then he says, well, I'm gonna only have 1 boat? Then is it still 2,000, or is it 1,000?
I'd even be,
Oh,
I'd
I
even,
don't,
It's
yeah,
2,000
it's,
up
I think
to
it
2
should be
boats,
2,000
regardless.
up to 2, so if he went to 1, then he'd still
It's
gotta pay
still
the
2,000.
2,000.
so the 20-foot, he's got a 27-foot and a 20-foot. So, the 20-foot, obviously, he charges a little bit less. And the 27-foot, of course, is the maximum. So for a full day of 8 hours, that's an 8-hour day, it's $900, not including tax and fees.
Right.
In 3 days, he can make his
Yeah,
rent,
For one
off
tour,
one boat.
for one tour, it's probably $1,400 of gas. Not that it's our problem, but I mean, yeah.
Nah, I don't think so, well.
No, I was exaggerating on that. We're so close to the beginning of the season.
Okay, where are we? 900 or 500 for the bigger boat, 400 or 700 for the smaller boat.
Correct. Half day, full day. See, and that's where the figures come in different, because he could do possibly 4 4-hour shifts, and that would make him on the so that would be $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes the overall cost, so there's different ways of finagling this, so we can make much more. But, where were you guys?
But if you make it too high, it might not make them worth it to even do it at all.
You can't make it too high, I don't think.
I mean, no, but I mean, if he, because you're going at for like the maximum, you're going by the maximum amount of trips it can make, like every day of the week or whatever, or a
I say
weekend.
that's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
Even
You're
half the
saying-
max is
You're
still
saying
way
it's a
more
possibility, but chances are that's not gonna happen.
Even if he only ran, say there was 30 days in a month, even if he only ran 15 days, he's still making a profit. I mean, I'm not trying to get into the guy's business. You know, I'm
Right,
not,
or drive them out, and then we have nothing,
Nothing,
yeah.
yeah.
because there's other things that are happening down the canal,
Lots.
right, so.
And I would say just, I don't know, like just based on the, do I dare use the word uncertainty of our economy right now?
Yeah, but
Maybe we
people might
need
not
to-
be spending,
What?
people might not be spending that money this summer.
People don't even be spending that money when we don't know, so maybe we should just keep it kinda where it is right now and see, I mean,
Well, my figures are negotiable.
Well, good, because I don't want to be here till midnight.
yeah, I know, right?
Whatever you
yeah.
want to vote, I can vote yes or no, don't matter.
I-
You absolutely can, and that's why you are an
I forgot what the
individual board.
motion was.
We didn't motion yet.
Oh, we didn't
We
motion.
have not voted on this, we're just talking.
Oh, right, we're just, okay.
I would like to have a motion though, so that we can at least get this part for Stacy resolved.
All right, so,
So I'll make a motion to approve Stacy's recommendation for, Sunshine Boat Rentals lease, not, but, and on the canal excursion 2025 request, but I wanna make sure this is, the
No,
request
hold on.
isn't,
no,
no. Yeah, we gotta redo this, because his
we don't want the canal
request-
excursion thing. Isn't that the ADA thing?
Right.
Right,
This is just-
right, I'm sorry, yeah, I need
Just,
to,
just
I,
lease, man.
just the lease, okay,
For up to 2 boats.
okay.
Two boats.
I think I have it up to
existing-
two boats, up to, okay. Scratch all that. I would like to make a motion to accept Sunshine Boat Rentals lease for up to 2 boats at $2,000 a month, right,
Mhm.
for the 2025 season.
Second.
Is that, did I cover it all?
Mhm. Did you second it, Steve?
I did.
Okay. All right. Any more discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
One
Good for
opposed?
you.
Motion is carried. Thank you. Good discussion.
Great, I love it.
Okay, for your calendars,
Calendars.
special meeting,
Oh, yeah, I got that on there.
May 1st, 10 a.m. We need at least 3 board members.
Thursday,
I
right?
have it on, I have it on my calendar.
I'll be here for sure.
You and Dennis, Steven?
Yeah, I think I responded to that.
Okay.
I think,
Yeah,
did I
emailed.
not
Yeah.
respond?
Yeah.
'Cause-
What, Mark?
Did I not respond? Because I thought I did, but I might not
You
have.
could have, but it's just a reminder. And
Yeah.
then dumpster days, as we talked about, May 10th, start at 8?
8 to 12. I'll be there at 6:30.
Well, they'll be lined up at 7:30, as they were last year.
So so is that what you were doing? You check people's?
Yeah, can we do, like, shift around a little bit there? I mean,
No,
Maybe.
I can't really.
Well,
I'm pretty much stuck.
Ethan's gonna be there in a paddy wagon, because there's reports of scavenging going on, I don't know, he's gonna arrest some people, so.
I mean, I do enjoy watching the
Some guy coming
ospreys
with
go
a
in and
truck,
out of the
so
nest at the tower there.
It'll be a
but-
white Dodge pickup truck.
The APB out, or
You gonna redecorate your office after this?
Yeah.
All right.
I might have a few things you might be interested in.
Any other board concerns?
Regarding anything?
Usually you have a list.
we talked about
Excuse me.
We're gonna go in executive.
the house up there, so Dennis is working on that. So I had a question.
All right, I need a motion to go to executive for personnel.
Make a motion to go into executive session for personnel issues.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you.
You gonna have, Ethan stick around? Okay.
Have a good evening, you guys.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Scotty.